Hi there everybody, how's it going today? This is Alshehaby. Today in our Adobe After Effects tutorial we are designing a lower third for our videos and social media icons and links. So let's dig in. Here I'm gonna start with my Adobe Illustrator to design my lower third first before I take it over the Adobe After Effects. Make sure you set your artboard here as the same size you're gonna use for your video. Here is my design and I'm gonna walk you through it. Make sure you have each item in a separate layer, as we're gonna need this later on in Adobe After Effects. I have icon for Instagram and as well my URL, and same for YouTube and Behance. Once you're all set in Adobe Illustrator, we're gonna jump to Adobe After Effects, so let's start our work. Now I'm gonna import my AI file as a new composition. Double click on it to get it down in my timeline. Here's my design in the lower third left corner of my artboard. I'm gonna start my work here with those two gold lines. I'm gonna make a mask on each one of them to start animating them one at a time. Let's see. Select the rectangle tool, click and move over the gold line. I'm only here working on the middle line. And down here from the mask path, click on the stopwatch to make your first keyframe. Move it a second forward, and with the selection tool here, double click on the side of the mask, then move it out till it disappears. Select both keyframes, right click and easy ease them. Jump to the graph editor to smooth them even more. Here first line is done, let's work on the top and the lower ones. The same thing I've done with the center one, I will do with the other one. Grab your rectangle tool, click and move on top of them to make your mask. Again, from the mask path, click on the stopwatch to make your keyframes. First keyframe, move it a second forward again. Select the selection tool and double click on the mask. But this time I'm gonna move it on the opposite direction from the center one. Select your new keyframes, easy ease them. Then jump to the graph editor. Now let's see how we've gone so far. Now I'm done with those lines and gonna start animating my social media and links. But before I start, I'm gonna center all my anchor points for all my icons. Highlight your layer, and with this anchor point tool here, just hold and drag it to the center of your layer. And then I'm gonna do the same for all my layers. Now as I am done, let's work smarter and not harder. I'm gonna select all three icons. This way any effect or animation I'll do on one icon or one layer will be automatically applied on the rest. Press S from the keyboard to bring up the scale option. Make my first keyframe here, I'll give it a 0%. Then move the handle a few frames further and make your second keyframe. This time I'll give it like 130% because I want it to pop out before it rests on the third and last keyframe, which is gonna be 100%. Select all your keyframes, right click and easy ease them. Then hit space or 0 from the numlock to check on your animation work. I'm gonna hit my graph editor icon here to smooth them a little bit. Now it's all good. Now fix your handle a few frames after the animation to start animating your links layers. I'm gonna select all three of them together in order to give them the same effect at the same time so I can do my work just once instead of 3 times. Hit P from the keyboard to bring up the position option. Click here on the stopwatch to create your keyframes. Move them further a bit cause this is here gonna be the final position for those keyframes. With the selection tool, click in the link and move it out. Make sure here you push on the shift key as you are moving them out so you don't actually move them up or down, you can just keep them stable in the same position. Select your keyframes and easy ease them. Then my graph editor to control the speed and their move. I will do the same with the rest of the keyframes. Now I'm gonna make a mask for this link or this layer. Click in any empty area to unselect anything you have already selected. With the rectangle tool, draw a rectangle starting from the icon and move it out till the end of the artboard. Hit enter from the keyboard to rename it. Now I'm gonna move it down just to keep it right on top of the Instagram link. Now select your Instagram link layer and from the track matte here choose alpha inverted matte. Now we finished your mask and let's see how it works. Here as you see the link is going behind the icon and it doesn't actually appear before it. Now it's done. Now what I'm gonna do is to create the second animation for those links. As we got them in, we'll remove them out after a second or two. Same thing as before, I'm gonna select all three of them. And from the position option, make a new keyframes. Move the handle a bit further, and with the selection tool I will hold and move all my links outside the frame. Now to my graph editor. And I will do the same for the rest. Now we will get the icons out. Again, select all three of them, and from the scale option we will create a new keyframe. Keep it on 100% and then move the handle a couple frames further and create another keyframe. Give it a bigger value so it would pop out before it disappears. Move the handle further and create your last keyframe and give it a 0%. I will move the last keyframe closer a bit so it will go out faster. Now my animation is almost done. Now what I'm gonna do is to make a mask for the other two links, YouTube link and Behance link, so they won't appear underneath the icon as we did the same with the Instagram link. With the rectangle tool, draw a rectangle starting from the icon and move it out till the end of the artboard. Hit enter to rename it. Move it down to keep it right on top of the YouTube link. Now select your YouTube link layer. Again, from the track matte here, choose alpha inverted matte. Now I'm gonna do the same thing with our last Behance link. Now we are all set. I'm gonna select all my layers and press U from the keyboard to show all my keyframes. All of our keyframes now are on the same point, same speed, same animation, as we created the animation for all three icons together and all three links together. Now we will just have to move each set of icon and link to place them one after another so they would move and animate one after another and not at the same time. Select second and third sets and move them after the first animation set. Then move the third set after the second one. Then make sure you put back the eye icon here on all of your layers except the three masks for the three links. Hit space from the keyboard to check on your animation work. Here we go, now things start to look much better. Now our last animation is gonna be the gold shrines again just to get them out of the scene. Gonna select both of them. Press U from the keyboard to show your keyframes. Make sure you place the handle right where the last icon disappears. I'm gonna select each layer at a time and make a keyframe at the same spot. Select the first layer and move the handle a second further. And with the selection tool, double click on the mask. I will animate it this time backwards. Go to the second layer. Do not move the handle. With the selection tool again, double click on the mask and animate it backwards as well. Graph editor, of course, to give it a smoother speed. Now I'm gonna check on all of my work. Here I'm gonna trim my composition to fit my video size. And now you have your lower third rolling. Last step is to save it. Those lower third videos supposed to be transparent video, as we're gonna place them on top of the main video, so you cannot have a background in this video. So go to composition, add to render queue, and from here choose your render options: best quality, HD resolution size, and that's all you need from this panel. And from here you have the most important option for our video. I usually go with the AVI. Second here is the video output. From the channels you will have to choose RGB plus alpha, and that's how we get the transparent video. Last one here, just have to choose where you're gonna save it. Then hit render and your video is ready. Now let's see how it looks like on another video. This is here a previous Photoshop action tutorial for me. If you are interested to watch, you will find the link for this video in the description below. Now we are all set. The sky is your limit to create fabulous videos and animation. Hope you guys enjoyed this artwork and thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.